What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Maggie Moreland and I am a certified holistic health practitioner. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've been thinking about and something that I can really relate to. And that's the idea that being skinny means you're healthy. So in our society, we have this image of what health is. And a lot of women, like myself, see that image of health as being skinny. Being skinny and having a six-pack and being muscular, very little body fat, and definitely a flat stomach. And this is something that can really take a toll on us. And I know this from experience because even from a young age, I have always had just a little belly, like I'm not overweight in any way, but I've always had a belly. My stomach has never been flat. So from a young age, as I'm watching TV shows, reading magazines, movies, you see the ideal American woman or ideal woman in our society, and she's very skinny with a flat stomach. And it's something that really messed with me, like all of my childhood. Just this idea that something was wrong with me because I wasn't skinny or I wasn't the perfect woman. Like my body didn't look like the bodies that we idolize in our society. And there's actually a lot of studies that show I'm not the only one that's affected by this. A lot of women are. And there's actually a rising epidemic of self-hatred in women because of this, because of the way that we depict the perfect woman in our society. And I really just want to change or flip the script of thinking that skinny equals healthy, because for a lot of people it doesn't. For a lot of people, being skinny means that they're under eating, that they're over exercising to maintain this image, and in turn their hormones are all out of balance. We're metabolically dysfunctioning, we're not able to stay warm and be healthy and energized and have high libido. So these are all the consequences that we have to try and maintain this image of health or being skinny. And I think it's something that I feel like a lot of us women, starting at a young age, we really struggle with. But to me, where I'm at today and all that I've experienced, all the fad dieting and over exercising to try and get my weight down, to try and weigh less, to try and be more skinny, that has all brought me to this place where I can look back and for sure tell you that all of those things, they don't lead to health. So I've kind of changed my definition of health, and I define health nowadays as having good energy and being able to sleep through the night, waking up well rested, having high libido, like having sex drive and being horny, having an appetite, actually being hungry when you wake up and wanting to eat things, not experiencing cravings, not having mood swings, not having awful PMS and awful irregular periods. These are just some of the things that have improved as I have shifted the way that I look at my body. And it is really hard for us to change this outlook that we have on ourselves, or this perspective we have on ourselves, because if we continue to tell ourselves for years and years and years that we're not good enough and our bodies should be different than the way we are, we actually start to believe what we're saying, and we start to see ourselves in a non-ideal way. Like we see our bodies differently than what they actually are. And this is known as like body dysmorphia, and it's something that I've struggled with. But just when you look in the mirror, and you may weigh 140 pounds, but you look in the mirror and you think of yourself as fat blob, or disgusting. And those are just some of the things that I've said to myself, but I'm sure that you can name a couple things that you've said to yourself that are not really nice. And Dr. Christiane Northrup, she actually has this quote in one of her books, and it says, women, they would never talk to a child or a toddler or even any other person the way that we talk to ourselves. And it's powerful because I know for a fact that a lot of us do stand in front of the mirror and pick out all of the things that we wish were different. We wish we didn't have cellulite. We wish that we were skinnier. We wish we didn't have love handles. We wish that our legs were thinner. Blah, blah, blah. We pick out these things, and over a period of time of picking and picking and picking at ourselves, we start to really hate ourselves, and we start to really feel uncomfortable in our bodies. And that's when, the diets, we start doing diets, and, we start under eating and over exercising and binging and having cravings and restricting and feeling guilty. And it's just this vicious cycle to try and create this ideal woman, this skinny woman out of ourselves when we're not meant to be that way. Women actually are meant to have body fat. So women's main purpose, and you can always choose if you want to do this or not, but we were created to reproduce. We were created to bring life into this world through our bodies. And with that being said, we need a lot more nutrients, a lot more food, and some cushion, some safety for bringing that life into the world. So women are naturally supposed to be more fat. We're not in a, oh my God, you're overweight, but we're supposed to have more body fat than men. We're not supposed to have an abs. We're not supposed to have a flat stomach. We are supposed to have curves and boobs and be voluptuous and beautiful. And that's how it is intended for us to be. Creator, the universe, God, whatever, has created us to be very feminine and curvy and flowy and have depth to our bodies. We're not supposed to be sticks that fit in size 0 pants. And I know I have always tried until, 5 years ago. I've tried so hard to fit in 0 pants, and I think it's impossible. We have hips. We have birthing hips, Our hips are wide so that we can actually birth a child or push a child out of our body without hurting ourselves. And if we really take a step back and look at our bodies from that perspective, our bodies are so beautifully amazing. Just the fact that the way we are created is intentional. It has a purpose. And it is, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say it's hard to, and say it's easy to be like, oh my gosh, I love my body, I'm so beautiful, because it's hard and it takes a lot of conscious effort to change the way that we talk about ourselves and the way that we see ourselves. And it's something that, I've struggled with, but something that helps. And I hope that, if you're coming here today and, you're struggling with this yourself, I hope that you can take this away, and I hope that it will be helpful for you. But something that really helps is focusing on feeling good physically. And for me, diet has the biggest impact on how I feel. And what I've noticed is that if I'm eating well, if I'm eating enough food and eating foods that I like, eating foods that I'm craving, and not restricting, and I feel good, I notice that I have a different outlook, not only on my body and how I feel about myself and my comfort level in my skin, but also just on life in general. I have a different outlook when I physically feel good. And I think that a lot of us overlook the power of our diet and how foods make us feel. Because I don't know about you guys, but like when I eat junk food, I feel like junk. And I feel like junk not for 1 day, not 2 days, but 3 days. I literally feel like junk. And I break out, and I might be bloated. And so I really just want to tell you that by making like small dietary changes and just eating foods that truly make you feel good, like just feeling good physically and not feeling like shit, it has such a profound impact on how we feel about ourselves, like mentally. And I just think that if a lot of us started prioritizing what we eat in our diet as a form of self-care, I feel like we all would feel a lot better physically, but also mentally, and feel a lot better about ourselves and in our skin. And yeah, we really just need to ditch the idea that skinny is healthy, because I 100% do not want to be skinny. I mean, I have always idolized that image of being skinny and having a six-pack, but at what cost? Like, at what cost are we willing to create that image? The cost of our energy levels, our mood, our metabolism, our hormones, our period, like being able to reproduce and be fertile. And it's just not worth it to me anymore. It's not worth it. And at this point, I feel like I have a good idea of how to love myself and be more comfortable in my body. And there are a lot of other things that we can also do to be more comfortable in our bodies, not just diet. I just feel like that has been the most impactful for me. But, we can also practice positive self-talk. So instead of waking up in the morning and going and getting on the scale for God knows why, getting on the scale and seeing how much you weigh, first thing, like, wake up, and when you go into the bathroom and brush your teeth, like, tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself that you love yourself. I also find it like so powerful to leave yourself little notes just saying that you're enough and you're beautiful, and that it's okay to be comfortable in your skin, and that you accept yourself just the way you are. Because positive self-talk, it rewires the way that we think, and the more that we repeat those things, the more that we are going to believe those things. And the more that we believe those things, the more that they just stick, and the more that becomes our thought pattern. That becomes our go-to. Instead of those negative thoughts about ourselves, our thoughts immediately go to those positive things, because we like retrain our brain. It's been so helpful for me just to practice positive self-talk. And also, like, having a really solid support system, like having friends that don't talk down to you. I used to surround myself a lot with other girls who would be like, "What's up, bitch?" or, like, just not say nice things all the time. And I don't think we realize in that moment how those things actually affect us. But what I realize now is that by surrounding myself with uplifting and empowering women, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better about myself, but I also feel better about who I'm surrounding myself with, and I also feel better about like how I'm serving them, and how they feel as people, because we can all uplift each other. So like having a positive support system is also really helpful. But I think just in general, like, we really just need to step away from this striving to like lose weight and look a certain way, and really focus more on feeling good. Because the truth of it all is, like, we have a weight that we're supposed to be, and that's our healthy weight. And as long as we're eating good food, like quality food, and exercising regularly, not living stagnantly and like sitting all the time, and practicing self-care, but most of all, like, what all of those things give you is just like feeling good. like, you will be a healthy weight. Your body will maintain the weight that it's supposed to be. And whatever that is, like, I've been sticking around 155-ish here recently, which is like honestly the most that I've ever weighed in my entire life. But I feel really good. And when I look in the mirror, I don't see fat. I don't see things that I need to change. I see an incredible body that does a hell of a lot for me and provides me with a vehicle to serve and create YouTube videos and have healthy relationships with my family and just do so many things. And I am just so loving and grateful of my body, and I just can't believe the years and years of punishment that I have given myself, just dieting and over exercising and fasting and just really hurting myself for a really long time. And we just got to get out of that. We got to get out of that. Just that cycle, that vicious cycle of truly self-hatred. But yeah, skinny does not equal healthy. Some people are more skinny than others, but most of the time, people that are over-exercising and under-eating, especially women, they probably have period problems. They probably are experiencing, some other underlying health issues. And it's not always a good thing. And I think it's time to stop idolizing being skinny. If you liked today's video, it's my little chat, my little rant here, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And feel free to comment and share the video as well.